man. Someone left their baby. Go Team Venture!
So hi, welcome to Binge Buddies, 9 nights with Freddy, me, as always, Brian Dressel. With me, as always, is Matt, Zombie Dog.
How's this working out for you, Brian?
I'm just so happy with what Matt's nickname is. I just scrolled up. I didn't expect it. Matt, Zombie Dog, Ho Dykes.
I knew it was going to be Ho.
Use a hoe.
I knew it.
Oh, use a hoe.
You say that like it's a bad thing. I know I'm a hoe. Like,
I just didn't see it coming, so it made me very happy. Is all.
Made me happy too.
We also have Joel Rake DeWitt.
I Joe Bob. That's all that came to mind with that. I'm looking forward to hearing the intro of these new episodes because the video audio is not coming through for the intro for me. So experience when I listen to the podcast.
So you're only seeing the video. You're not hearing everything with it?
Correct.
There's something weird because that explains why you're the only one not bobbing around to like the song as it's playing. Like everyone else is going like, "Yeah, I'm digging to this," and Joel's just sitting there like, "Is it over yet?"
No, it is not a judgment on the quality.
That's just how Joel is in general, though. He's always looking at.
I do have resting Joel face. Right.
Well, we also have Ryan Cultivator Lutens.
I gotta cultivate my lawn today. Funny you should say that.
Well, that's your nickname, of course. I'm enjoying the gardening tools far more than I was the people that I just kept screwing up.
Recycling the same list over and over.
Um,
148. Fuck, it's still the same people.
I don't know how that kept happening, but I'm doing much better over here now. Everything is better this week. We got a better movie, better nicknames, did a better intro, didn't have to fumble around for stuff because I just gave up on them this time. But yeah, things are going great over here at Binge Buddies. I'm feeling really good. And try something a little different this week though. Instead of just saying, like Nightmare on Elm Street 3, how are we feeling? I figure I'm guessing that Joel will not be able to experience this given how his has been going so far. But I thought it'd be fun to watch the trailer together for the movie we're talking about. Doesn't that sound fun? Everyone but Joel?
Thank you.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so everyone but Joel, we're going to watch the trailer.
Somehow this tracks.
So Joel's just going to be sitting there like this.
Joel will see the trailer. He just won't be able to watch the trailer. So here we are.
Make up your own words, Joel.
As opposed to the listeners,
we're gonna
hear the trailer.
We're gonna dub it.
I
got it. Okay.
That's also true, Matt. Yes, absolutely. The other people will be able to hear and not see, and Joel will be able to see and not hear. So this is great. Here we go.
Oh, neat.
I just heard someone screaming, "Get me out of here!" from someone's audio.
And then it's not working. Oh, there it is.
Say,
Okay,
like the New Line Cinema title card at the beginning is pretty cool.
it is.
Movies. That sort of red flashiness. It works.
Well, that's do we prefer the red flashiness or the film one, the film reel one?
I kind of like the red flashiness.
I do too.
Very horror like. It suits it better as like when it's a horror house.
It does.
Yeah.
Is this the teaser or the official?
Has anyone ever seen this trailer before? This is boring as shit.
No, this really sucks.
I feel like this is the teaser.
I mean, you're probably right.
A glass of water.
Hey, do you know why they sing that?
It means they're coming for you.
It means it's coming for you.
5, 6, grab your crucifix.
So it was made out of paper mache and popsicle sticks, right?
Yeah.
Supposedly. That looks plastic.
Patricia
to me.
Arquette is very masterful in terms of crafting.
I appreciate the popsicle stick bars on the windows.
Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. Freddy's just around the corner.
I love that they say written by Wes Craven when it's not. I mean, he did the original script.
Written by Wes Craven, some other dude, not actually mentioning Frank Darabont and Chuck Russell as well.
Right, they're trying to
who
polish
wrote
it so people come in. Ooh, it's by Wes Craven. We gotta go. Well played, 80s. Well played.
What little did they know that like how powerful the name Frank Darabont would have been though.
Yeah, but Frank
They
Darabont
didn't know then.
the 2000s is kind of.
I still like him.
I think he's great, but he hasn't really done much.
So what do we think of the trailer?
So
It's kind of boring as hell. But
Thanks,
I do
80.
like being able to watch it. That's fun. We'll try to do that again. It'll be better when we're actually just live streaming the whole thing. But yeah, let's talk over the whole thing and say how spoiler was this? That one wasn't spoilery at all.
Yes, it was. They showed Patricia Arquette's beautiful arts and crafts.
But that
And I'm
wasn't the same
furious.
one. That wasn't the
gonna say,
same one.
didn't even show Patricia Arquette. I'm pretty sure that wasn't Patricia Arquette.
It wasn't.
No chance.
Not even sure that was a human. Like, could you a latex doll
That very well could have
with a
been.
wig?
But I mean, I like the glove coming out of the house. That was kind of cool.
Yeah,
I'm trying.
I
To be nice
I
to
was
the trailer.
waiting for something. Something was gonna happen.
Yeah, and
Did they do the thing in the trailer where they talked through all the? Like they have narrators on a lot of these old horror trailers, right? Where it's
Yeah,
like they're
this one-
trying to set up the premise.
oh, so Joel could not hear it. So I was right. You did not hear it. Okay, perfect.
It was literally just like the lullaby.
Yeah,
thing.
this is the 1, 2,
Yeah.
Freddy's coming by. Yeah, that was
Okay.
it.
That was
He's
the
been burned.
Yeah.
None of that.
Not a great trailer. Great movie.
oh yeah.
I made the comment in our little offline chat. Had I actually seen this movie, I would have seen all the Freddy movies. There's nothing would have stopped me. Like I would have been hooked. I would have watched all of them. This movie was my jam. And I've said this as somebody who's never been a very big Freddy fan. Like I've seen the good ones. I've seen the first one, and I thought were the good ones. I've seen the first one, then I've seen New Nightmare, and I'd seen 2. I'd skipped over this one for a long time, which is weird because I love Patricia Arquette, but it's still like, it's Patricia Arquette. She was 16. How good could she have really been in that thing? She was great. How dare I question whether or not she was going to be great? I loved the hell out of this. I liked this more than anything I've watched with Freddy in it thus far. I know a lot of people probably disagree with me because like I know a lot of people think New Nightmare is the best, but like this felt like it was made for me. This was everything that I wanted other Freddy movies to be. Like somebody who really understood what nightmare murders could be. This was awesome. Every kill was awesome. Even the stupid ones were awesome. I like the story. I like Nancy coming back. I like Nancy dying. Sorry, spoilers. I like all of it. I'm still kind of surprised by how much I was entertained by this. Because I went in kind of going like, I've heard it was good, but I've heard that about a lot of horror movies. I'm like, yeah, but it's good for horror films. And like, it's good for the franchise. Like that. And I say that, being a very, very big Jason fan. Is Jason 6 the greatest horror movie? No. Is it great for the franchise?
No,
Absolutely.
fuck yourself.
It's amazing. I'm wearing a shirt for it right now, man. Calm down. I love 6, but I'm just saying it's not the greatest horror film of all time.
Okay.
For me, Nightmare on Elm Street 3 is up there with some of the best horror films ever made outside of just being one of the Nightmare movies. This thing was my jam. I'm into it. I want to see where you guys land.
This for me, like, is the best one so far. Like, the first film was really great up until that ending, and they fumbled the ending so badly. The third one is just consistently great. Like, I love they bring back John Saxon as well. He comes back, and we sort of like we get, Nancy comes back, but then there's also like, the dreamness of it all is back, and it's always back. Like they just how those dreams work is so creative. Like I think my favorite kill in the film might be the marionette.
The marionette. How is it not the marionette? That is so incredible.
It's so good. Like just the way like, you know, the practicality of, like, you know, we see the tendons and all that stuff, and that's how he's doing. But then just like that image of the dude like standing in the sort of clock tower thing. Why has a mental health hospital got a clock tower?
So the movie can happen.
Yeah, but then like Freddy above him and just cutting the strings, like that is so cool. Like the way that he's kind of like semi-transparent as well. It is so good, like visually amazing, and it's just like it really speaks to the fact that you got a director like Chuck Russell in working, like, you know, doing when they did the final draft, working with Frank Darabont. There's just so much creativity in this film, and it's just like everyone who was involved in this film, they came to play. And going off the back of 2, where we were basically just saying that whole film was very just like very very dull, very boring. My God, does it change with this one? Like, wow, like just the creative, like if you just, I can understand why you stopped at 2, Brian. I can understand why you didn't look at 3, because you watch the first one and go, oh, this is really cool. Ending's kind of Then you go to the next one like, I don't think I'm gonna like these ones. But then when they come back in with 3, like, firing on all cylinders, all of them. Like,
that's all I need to get through
good.
Everything. Like that's like, and I know they go downhill from here. Like I'm very aware of this, but I'm still like, I'm in. You've got me now.
Yeah. Such a good film.
3 has always been in my top tier for Nightmare. It has always been one that I go to. It is, and the reason why is because the story is very concise. The acting is fantastic. The practical effects are, you saved all of this from part 2 to now. Thank you, I guess. But I do have one gripe of the movie, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But to answer your question, Matt, why is there a bell tower? Because this used to be a Catholic-run thing. That's why we have the nun and
Freddy's mom.
Well, what I will say, another spoiler. What I will say about this is,
we're talking about the film. There's no spoilers.
I was gonna say, you're either going here with the presumption that you've watched this, or you're okay with being spoiled.
Damn it! I'm just trying to. Anyway, what I was
happy
going
that
to
everyone
say.
jumped down Ryan's throat, not mine.
We're used to you making asinine points like that, though, Brian.
Oh, ow!
What I was going to say is, what I liked about this movie is, you know, when horror movies start to explain the killer, they really overdo it. This movie just gives you just enough to make him that much more creepier. Son of a thousand maniacs, mom being a nun.
Yep.
That was it. That was good.
Yep.
That was good.
Like when that scene started happening, she started talking. I just thought, oh no, here we go. The film's gonna fall apart. We're gonna get so much. Oh no, wait, they're done talking. That's it. Oh, and I like that. That's way better.
Like I'm still not a huge fan of like the religious bend in this one, like because it doesn't.
This one's definitely. You got the gayest movie, now you got the most Christian movie.
Yeah, because like this doesn't come back around, right? Like I know, like I know it's in the nursery rhyme. Grab your crucifix, so like I know it's always there, like somewhere in the wings, but it doesn't go as hard as this.
We get a little bit in 5.
Okay, a little bit more 5, and that's fine. Like it works, like because you know, like the Freddy, is he a demon? Is he not? Like that, I get it. It didn't fully work for me in this one. I do find it interesting. I just had to look it up. This movie came out a year after New Beginning, which was another slasher movie set in a mental institution. This one's way better.
I was gonna say this one was way better. This one was so much better. This one didn't have what was his name again? The guy who was the killer who just like every now and again.
Roy,
yeah, Roy just popping up every now and again when someone said, "Oh, what a psychopath!"
You talking to me?
You talking to me, boss?
Hey, you said psychopath? You talking to me? Talking to me?
Oh, that would have been great. Like, there's somebody killing our dreams. You talking to me? And just Robert Englund just like poking his head around like every corner.
I'd have been on board for that one.
We don't, and you know, this is the first movie we don't see Robert Englund in. Well, -1, but you saw him as the bus driver.
Yeah.
In 2, so I thought that was really cool. That you don't see him without his makeup.
Yeah, I mean,
we don't need to see him without his makeup though, because
I
think
you're going to in the next couple movies.
Yeah,
the problem with like when you take Robert Englund out of his makeup though is he looks like such a nice guy as well. He doesn't look like a killer. Like there's nothing.
It's always the people you expect
sinister.
least, though, right?
Yep.
I suppose, but like in films, you've got to have that sinister look, and there's nothing ever so like sinister about him. So like him as the bus driver, I know what they were trying to do. They kind of failed on that as well because he didn't look sinister as the bus driver. He just looked like a bus driver.
He looked like a bus driver, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's kind of get into this one a little bit. Like, how much now?
What about Joel's plot?
Oh, I guess I am curious. Joel, since we just gushed all over this thing, I'm guessing you got a nice bucket of ice water ready to go.
I got you, Joel.
No, you guys.
This was fine.
I value your opinion. Sometimes, Joel.
This is up there with some of the best horror films we've watched.
Okay.
There's an alternate world where this was the sequel to 1, the much more fitting sequel to 1, and then 2 became sort of a Season of the Witch situation where they're playing in the same world, but they're trying different ideas. I want to be in that reality because this does everything well about the first one. It expands the world and the cast, but doesn't overwhelm anything. Like you know all these characters in this film, and they give them just enough time to show their personality and get you invested. So when the kills start happening, you're like, oh no, it's your time, isn't it? Like that, you're
you
done.
care about these characters. Like the characters are characters as well. They're not just like a caricature, and they're consistent. Like the issue we mentioned with Grady was like being so inconsistent. Like
the story makes you actually feel for these kids because it's just you hear about this mass string of suicides, and you're really starting to feel for these characters because you know why things are happening and why their deaths are ruled suicide because that's what it's ruled in the real world. Because that's what.
Which I take slight issue with. No one's ever committed suicide by launching their body into a TV that's mounted on the ceiling.
You don't know, Brian. You don't know.
Maybe she saw an infomercial she really wanted. And jumped at the chance.
Oh, they're gonna remember me.
Like I love the TV. Him coming out of the TV is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the fact that someone watched, she killed herself. Like, what?
The fact that it's mounted so high up there. What did she do? It's like a running jump with like a freaking pole as well.
No,
pole
I'm pretty sure
the
they be taking Lawrence Fishburne out in handcuffs.
Yeah,
they would just assume it's the orderly.
I mean, he was a terrible orderly. You can't do this, please. All right, I didn't see it. All right.
He's better than the other one that's like comes out saying, "Hey, I got keys to the medicine cabinet. Want to go get high?"
Yeah, okay. That
stay away from me, or I'll go straight to Lawrence Fishburne.
And isn't he Larry Fishburne in the credits in this one?
Yes, yeah. This is when he went as Larry.
Yeah,
I think it was like the mid-90s when he changed to Lawrence.
That was the right call.
Yes.
And throwing it out there just for a bit of shameless whatever, he was a babe. He looked real good back in the day. Not that he does it now, not shaming him now, but well done. Anyhow, so this movie does feel like what Joel was saying earlier, legit sequel to 2. And not knowing anything going into this one, I didn't know Nancy was in it. I just assumed that like the original cast was just gone at this point because that's kind of like the way these slashers usually go. So when she popped up, like I have my note is just Nancy's here. Like I didn't expect this.
Her reveal is great.
It is.
Finishing the nursery rhyme was well done.
Very well done.
The
Something they tried to replicate back in Freddy vs. Jason. And
oh yeah, no. Freddy vs. Jason. You went too far. Like you could have just finish the nursery rhyme. Don't add the stupid explanation afterwards.
I'm so excited to get to that one again.
I'll be watching that alone this time, I'm pretty sure.
I might just get like I might just watch it once and just take my notes from the last time we watched it and just be like, yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, that'll work. But Nancy's in this thing, and I'm sorry, it's the well I have to go to, so that's where I will keep going to, and I apologize. But Hypnosil from Freddy vs. Jason is here. I didn't know it came into the franchise this early. I actually thought that was like a thing for Freddy vs. Jason. I didn't know that was an actual like Nightmare on Elm Street thing.
That's why it's a callback.
Yeah, that's actually kind of cool. And I like that Nancy's here and that she's taking this experimental drug to get rid of her dreams, Like she's dealt with this before, and now she's here with these kids who have also dealt with or now dealing with this, and they're dealing with the downside of their parents just don't understand.
What I like about this one as well is like the setting in the mental institution, and it just kind of feels like, you know, in the 80s there was a big thing of like, you know, parents just sending their kids to mental institutions because, you know, they had a drug problem or whatever, and it's like, oh well, the mental institute's the way you fix that. And it just like saying it here and then like showing, you know, the really crappy parenting from from
Kristen's mom.
Kristen's mom, yeah, sorry.
You know
Kristen's
who she's
mom.
the real mother of in real life? Her
Oh,
daughter the year before was the robotic dancer in part 5 of
yes, that was
Friday
it.
the 13th.
I saw that on the documentary.
Never sleep again.
Wow.
Yeah. But like, yeah, just how crappy she is as a parent, and like that attitude of, oh, she's just doing it for attention. So yeah, just put her in a mental institution. I don't want to deal with her anymore. And it's like, I like how the film's kind of saying something.
Yeah. And like even in the mental institution, they're still not being listened to, like by their own doctors. Like it takes the one that I'm gonna call him a creep because I don't know how old he is, but he looks way too old for Nancy, and he's super into Nancy. But the creepy doctor, like even him, it takes him the majority of the film to eventually come around. Like, no, this is what's happening, and it's like, dude, like she launched herself into a TV on the ceiling. It's not a suicide. Like, what more do you need? And just like the fact that like they're having a shared nightmare, like should at least, like, I know I'm trying to talk about this in the real world, but like it should at least be like, okay, maybe there's something else going on here. Like a shared dream amongst multiple mental patients. That should be a red flag, right?
But this is the era of like not paying attention to that sort of stuff. Like, you know, we have a lot of the kind of the talk around suicide. Like, you know, when he says, "Oh, he was a quitter because he killed himself," it's like that was the attitude towards that sort of stuff, though. And I think, like, you know, the attitude towards shared dreams, like, oh well, they've obviously just been talking, and now, you know, they're making up stuff to try, you know, like Kristen's mom, she's just doing it for attention. Oh, they're just doing it for attention. They're trying to get a bit more attention. You know, they're talking to each other about their dreams and making up this shared dream thing, and it's done kind of well, I think, because you don't really find yourself at any point getting really annoyed at Neil because he starts to come around. Dr. Sims, on the other hand, you're like, fuck this bitch.
Yeah,
like,
might as well call her Ratchet. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, she is the
She's
worst.
great, though. I love that actress.
Oh, great actress. Yeah, she nailed her part. I hate her.
Yeah. She knew the assignment.
She did. Everyone here did. Everyone.
What I'm just going to talk a testament to the franchise at this point, because, you know, we talked about shared dreams. You know, you had the characterization of Kristen, and she can pull everyone together, and that's going to be very important for the next film, which I'll get into. But what I really like about this is we are back to getting a group of kids that are all together. Yeah. The other movie, the kids were very separated. Like you had Jesse and Lisa, and then you had Grady, and then that other girl who was just there. These kids are all in the same room, so you know that they're friends. You know they're trying to work through the same shit together. And that's a testament to the film itself. It goes back to those roots. And to allow them to have that shared dream and have Kristen be able to pull everyone in together, it really brings that element of the Dream Warriors together. And I love it.
When she brings Nancy into a dream that first time, and when Nancy sees,
well, but give me one second, because that dream. Sorry, just to go back, just the dream itself, for me, that is like the starter pistol. Like holy shit, are we in for something special here? Because that,
especially with the effects,
with Patricia Arquette in the middle of that room that just starts exploding around her, that is. Like holds up to today, one of the best special effects I've seen. That sequence is amazing. Yeah. And then on top
Freddy
of it, and then we get the Freddy worm that's eating her. That's still so gross that made Chewie walk out of the room when I was watching it with her. And this is like one of her favorite movies. But then you get that moment that Matt was just talking about where she pulls her into that dream. Like that entire dream from the opening with Patricia Arquette in there and blowing up to pulling Nancy into it is just like top tier horror filmmaking.
Yeah. And what I love about with that is Nancy's reaction to Freddy as well. It's like she's been taking the hypnosil, she's not dream writing, she feels safe, and then she's confronted with the person who killed all of her friends, killed her mother, all of this, and she's just like the terror on her face. And it's like, I don't want this to sound as mean as it's going to seem. I don't think Heather Langenkamp's that good an actress. In some bits, she's like, there's some bits in this film, like when she's talking to Kristen's mum, and I'm just like, that is so wooden. But there's other bits where she's really good, like in the dream sequence there, where she's like looking terrified, amazing, and it just kind of like, it's a very inconsistent performance, unfortunately. Like,
especially coming off of two, where we
film.
had Mark, and he was just so incredible the whole way through, and we go back to Nancy, and it's like,
yeah, there is some woodenness in her performance, but it's not throughout. So it's not
you can see why
terrible.
she got cast. She's still great when she needs to be. Yeah.
But there are some moments where she's not as strong, unfortunately. But that moment is not one of them. Like, she is so good in that, like, just that recognition of Freddy and, like, you know, that terror in her face. She sells it so well.
Could that be a chemistry thing between the actors? Like, because her and the other doctor too, it's like that feels wooden, and I never got a sense of if it was just colleagues, if there was some romantic aspect to it, because there was one scene where they're sitting with, you know, glasses of wine in front of a fireplace and stuff, and it's like I don't know what to read this as.
Friends can drink wine in front of a fireplace, Joel.
No.
No.
I'm just going. Not allowed.
Okay, I'll cancel the wine and fireplace thing with my friends.
So kind of moving through this thing a little bit. So we get kind of everyone back. Everyone's here. The kids are all being tortured in their dreams. Much like the first movie, this picks up while shit is already going down, which I appreciate again.
Yeah, that first dream sequence with Kristen running through the house was top tier.
It's great.
Like
Fantastic.
when you get that, you're like, okay, we're off and running.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right out of the gate. We're here.
It's like the little girl, which is like, Freddy's home. It's like, oh, that's creepy.
Oh, that's good.
That's real creepy.
That's tension, baby. Where was that last film?
Yeah, that's very Poltergeist. Like, oh, here we go. Which is great, and it's right out of the gate of the movie.
There's something great about this one as well. Like, the first one opens with Freddy constructing his finger knives.
Yeah.
This one opens, like, the opening credits are over Kristen constructing the house.
Yeah.
And I like that. There's that kind of that sort of like the balance there, or the sort of mirror image of, like, you know, they're building something, but it's like, you know, Freddy's building his weapon and Kristen's building her dream, and like to try and understand it. And I think it's a really cool idea, like, that's used, like the mixing of the paper mache. Because at first I was like, oh, is she making pancakes or something? Like, oh no, that's not right.
Okay, who among us have eaten a spoonful of instant coffee and then downed it with Diet Coke?
I've eaten a spoonful of instant coffee. I've never downed it with Diet Coke.
I haven't.
How was that experience?
I downed it with coffee.
I kind of feel like eating a spoonful of coffee and then having something carbonated might cause some sort of chemical reaction that you wouldn't want happening in your gut.
Like Mentos and Coke.
Yeah.
You're going to have a very ferocious fart and burp. It's coming out both ends.
I don't think it's going to be a fart. I think it's going to go as far as being a shart.
Yeah.
That's the real new nightmare.
That's our tagline for the episode.
Good Lord. All right, I kind of want to start getting into as he starts picking them off. So once we kind of lay the groundwork for the movie and the movie starts moving, the first one out of the gate, unfortunately for poor Philip, is the marionette kill. And if you were already kind of like, I'm enjoying this movie, like I wonder where it's going to go, this movie rewards like your patience extremely fast. Like it's just like, no, we're going full 10 as soon as we can. That marionette kill, which we've already kind of talked about, so I don't want to just completely go all over it again. But the actor who plays Philip sells it so insanely well, of just like, because he's already known as like the sleepwalker, so people are already expecting him to be walking around a little bit. but then he has that, so he's holding his arms out. If we had the video for this, you could see what I'm doing. But like the whole way he's holding it, it just looks so painful with every step. And like they sell
like
it.
he doesn't want to go.
Yeah.
He's being directed.
He's
It's
been
just
dragged.
great.
He's been dragged by his tendons, and like, and it's just like you can see that that's what's happening as well. Like even when you don't see the actual practical effect, but before that even happens as well, we have some amazing stop motion thing of the puppets on his wall, like the face kind of like changing into Freddy's face, and then it sort of like does that smile, and it cuts itself down, and then it walks. I wanted more of that of puppet Freddy to me. I thought it looked so cool.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
it was so good.
The puppetry in this movie is very good. Not just that one. The end of the movie versus the skeleton. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
like Ray Harryhausen level
Yeah,
skeleton fighting stuff.
Absolutely
it's so
incredible. We'll get to it, but like I said at the top, I like this movie. Like I really dig this one.
I mean, there's a slow torture to that kill as well that I don't remember there being much of up to this point. A lot of the kills are very quick, snappy, brutal stuff. And like the torture is him toying with them in terms of chasing them around. This is the first time I remember every step has to be agony for this kid. So not only is he in excruciating pain, but he's also knowingly walking towards his doom. And the tension isn't so much about the sort of his specific circumstance alone. It's also the other kids freaking out watching this happen and trying to warn people like he needs help. Somebody help him.
And I think Freddy is doing that, like leaving him up there dangling off the edge, not to torture the kid who's going to cut the thing. Yeah, he's torturing the ones kids who are watching. And it's just like he's there, he's enjoying that. Like when we cut to the shot looking up and you can see like the big smile on his face, he's not enjoying like holding Philip, that was his name, Philip there. He's enjoying like the kids going mental trying to get him to come down and like, you know, trying to wake him up. And it's just, you know, then when he just sort of like just swipes his hand through and just cuts them and you see him fall, it's like the way that that's all composited together, like the animated sort of strings with the sort of like the practical thing and then putting Freddy in there, it's seamless. Like we talked about this in the first one of like, you know, how they managed to do these, like some of these effects at the time where there's no CG or anything like that. It's all practical and it works so well. Like,
it's the consistency of the film for me because everything about this sequence was very fine-tuned because you have Philip and when he's walking, you know, they show the blood dripping and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
More importantly is when the kids are talking about it. And they're like, how did he get up on a locked wing? And if you watch the movie, when he disappears at the door, there's clearly a lock, a deadbolt lock on the door.
It's a padlock, I think.
Yep. And I'm like, this is consistent as hell. Like you don't get movies that pay that much attention to detail, but this movie is really swinging for the fences.
And then like it just keeps going too. Like it's not like the marionette kill is like, all right, we saw it. Now the rest of the movie goes downhill. Like the next kill, I forget her name, but the girl who's watching TV, the TV suicide that I take Jennifer. That sequence is great. Like it's not as drawn out as the marionette sequence, and it's very corny now, you know, here in 2024.
I don't know, using Zaza Gabor is pretty good.
I love that. Like I love the fact they went to like the Tonight Show set and did that. Like that's just, it looks so cool. I'm not sure if it's the actual Tonight Show, but it looked great.
The great thing about that as well is like watching the behind the scenes thing, the Never Sleep Again. They actually asked Dick Cavett who would he want to bring on, and he wanted Zaza Gabor to be the one that Freddy killed because he hated her. He thought she was just such an absolute moron. It was like, if anyone's gonna be killed by Freddy, like we'll do her. And so that's how she ended up in the film. And I just think that's so good. And I love the transition as well. Like
it's like a static on TV.
But it's like the static, and then all of a sudden it's Freddy. And it's like, oh, gives a fuck what you think, or something like that, and just like swipes it, and then she kind of like. She sort of blinks, and it's just like, oh, the blink of like the static when, like, suddenly it becomes Freddy. That's when she fell asleep, and it's so well done. Like the way that it does, like the way that it has their transition from awake to dreaming. It's subtle, but it works so well. Yeah.
Well,
then you
they
have
set these up.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. No, even the little details beforehand, like she's sitting on the couch watching this TV. She finds almost a butt of a cigarette, starts smoking it, singes her hand on it, and it's
you can stay
it's
awake.
immediately like she's trying to stay awake. Like that's
Yeah.
the depths that she's willing to go through. The attention to detail is stellar.
But
Yeah.
then you get the Freddy coming out of the TV, which could like it's a little corny, yeah, but it still works. Like it looks cool, like the robot arms spring out of the side, like
Yeah.
Mhm.
that's an amazing practical prop. Like that,
The little
it just
TV aerial still on the top
And
of
this
his
is-
head.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, this is where we get, and I'm glad that it's almost this transition, but this is where we start to get Freddy as an asshole and a
Yeah.
jokester. Like he's starting to lay the one-liners, and it works.
Yeah.
It works really well.
because like the first one they have some like he's not as funny, but he's charismatic. He's more
Yeah.
charismatic. All charisma is
first one,
gone
he's a
into,
bit-
which is fine because that's what that movie needed. But this one, they bring it back and like, they know how funny Robert can be.
Yeah.
They let him be funny.
Well, the first one he was playful a little bit. Like in one of the dreams they have Freddy wearing Tina's face, going, "Help me, help me, save
Yeah,
me
yeah,
from."
yeah.
Then he pulls the thing, and goes, "Freddy," and like
Yeah.
that kind of playfulness. But it's still like horror. It's
Yeah.
like trying to be like scary and what. Whereas this one, it's starting to be his sense of humor's coming out a bit more.
Yeah.
And
Like, what's the
some of
line?
that
Welcome-
actually
is it-
Welcome to
Welcome
prime
to-
time, bitch.
Yeah, welcome to primetime.
which
Bitch. Yeah.
was actually what Robert Englund came up with himself. Like the scripted line was, "This is it, Jennifer. Your big break in TV," which comes before that. But the "Welcome to
Yep.
Prime Time" bitch was something that Robert Englund came up with. So it's that idea of like Robert Englund is so into this character that he knows the kind of things that he would say, and like he starts coming up with these kind of quips.
Yeah.
So this is where my one gripe comes in, because Robert Englund is a genius and he knows what they're doing with his voice in post-production. It's very hit or miss in this movie, because there's moments when you can hear that almost that echo in his voice because he's really
Yeah.
trying to get that hollowness. And there's times when he's just talking and you know it's Robert Englund's voice.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest gripe with this movie, is that they're still trying to figure out the characterization as Freddy is going to be speaking more. How are we going to make his voice more sinister? They nail it in earlier movies, but you can definitely tell that they are tinkering with it in this film, and it takes you out of it a little bit, because first he's talking like Robert and you know his voice, and then it's like that hollow almost. Yeah.
I agree, but I mean, how good is
you
this
can't.
movie
You
that
have
that's
to
your
mess around
complaint?
with it.
Like
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
when,
moving
when your one
forward, so-
complaint for the film is the voice didn't sound so great.
Tiny.
With,
Yeah,
like,
I'd
you
say
know,
it's a pretty
in,
good movie.
3 or 4 seconds, the voice didn't sound too great. Like that's the
It's
one
more than
thing.
2 or 3 seconds. There's multiple times when
No,
Fine,
I know
five
what you're
or
talking
six.
about. Yeah,
yeah.
I know what
Ryan,
you're talking
get
about.
more
I agree,
nits.
but- yeah.
tiny.
All right, let's move on to Joey. So Joey gets killed by boobies.
He doesn't
well,
get killed.
He doesn't get killed. He does survive. He
He
gets,
gets captured by boobies.
he gets captured by boobies.
I mean, we all would.
I don't know, like when this much stuff is going on, don't trust the pretty naked.
You
lady,
like my
man.
body, Joey?
Yeah, no,
Yeah, but it's a horny teenager. Any horny teenager at that age is gonna get captured by boobies.
I
What
was a
kind-
horny teenager. I would have been running out that door like, no, I know me well enough to know that she's not into me. I'm gone. There's no chance.
Well, you had more self-awareness than I did, because I'd have been like, "Ooh, boobies."
But yeah, so but I do like that sequence. It's a very good sequence. Like, and it's gross. The Nightmare on Elm Street's fascination with tongues, not a huge fan of, because tongues are gross. I agree with Michael going back to The Good Place. Mouths are for eating. Not for that. But
I mean,
The
you're using
tongues
your
in this
mouth
thing
wrong
work,
if you
and
think
I
it's only for
love-
eating.
I love the projectile tongues that are like latching him
That's
to like
so
the bed
cool.
frame.
Well, do you know,
It's so cool.
With the original, I'm glad they went this route, because the
Yeah.
original was good. They were going to dress her up like Freddy, like have her start like her
Yeah,
face
I saw that. Like they actually have in the documentary like some, I think it's the photographs or sketches of what it
Yeah.
was going to look like, but like they even said it just looked like a woman in a Freddy mask though.
Yeah.
So they
So
went
I'm
with
glad
the
they kept what it did and have her rise from the bed and then set Robert in. I thought it worked.
That worked. Yeah.
but
yeah.
like having her sort of projectile firing tongues and like the
That was
tongues then
cool.
sort of tiny. It's so good. Like
Yeah.
it's so cool.
Yeah. And then I like the like this is again, so you know, we've done a lot of horror franchises here, and we've done Michael and Jason are different, but they have similar MOs. Like they're still going to stalk and then murder. They do stalking and murdering different, but they still kind of do the same thing. Freddy here's a different ball game. And like when we did the remake of Friday the 13th, I took a bunch of issue with Jason taking a prisoner because that's not what Jason does. Jason kills. So the prisoner aspect just didn't work for me in the remake at all. Freddy can take prisoners, and I appreciate it. So him taking Joey, I think works really well here.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's
Like-
a strategy. It's his
Yeah.
way of like saying, right, well, I've got Joey, come and get him, and it's his way of getting them to come to him, like to
Yeah.
But
come back
even
into
that,
the
it's
dream
the
world.
one- It's the one person that can't call out for help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's even more important because of it really leads, and it's a testament to Joey's character when he finds out what his warrior power is.
Yeah. Like,
Dream
and that's
power.
dream power, warrior power, whatever you want to call it.
Thank you, Matt.
But like I really do appreciate that. Like, and I like the we didn't really talk about when no because they're going into the world now. So this is when they start figuring out their dream powers or warrior powers or whatever the fuck we're calling them.
They call them dream powers.
Dream powers.
Great. So dream power. I don't care.
I like how we get that transition as well, using the pendulum ball thing. I don't know what you actually call them.
Yeah.
But then when they just suddenly go bing, just sort of like float around, it's just like that's a really cool transition. I really like that transition.
And I really like the idea of dream powers. Like it's kind of corny. Like, and if the movie didn't really commit to it, it would have been way too corny. But I like Taryn, like, what's your dream power? Nothing really. I just look good and I got my switchblades. Like, so that's kind of cool. And then I'm forgetting his name.
Yeah.
The guy who is like, he has like super strength and he can be really strong. Or, like,
Kincaid.
Kincaid.
Thank you, Kincaid. And then we got Patricia Arquette who can do like gymnastics and she can fight and she does. And then we got the wizard kid who has magical powers because why not?
Will.
But I like that because it is really leaning into the dream aspect of it, which was like, if you go back to our first episode, like that's been kind of my concern with these is like, how far do you go with dreams? Because dreams, technically, you can do whatever the hell you want. And like
there's no rules, there's no laws in a dream. Like you could dream that you're flying on a galloping horse over the Titanic in space.
This is exactly what Matt. And I love Matt that you brought this up is because dreams. There's no rules.
Yeah,
your dreams are what you make them, and that and allowing to see that through these characters and discovering their dream powers makes it that much more viewable. Is because you're really diving into the mythos of what dreams actually can achieve, whether they're nightmares or dreams. So I again, a huge testament to this film.
Yeah, and
There's a funny dichotomy too. So most of the movie, they're in this psych ward, completely helpless, right?
Yeah.
Just waiting victims, and them going into Freddy's world in these dreams is a weird sense of power and agency that they didn't have in the real world. So it's a funny dissonance that they put into this.
And them going in as a group and going in together as well, that it gives them more confidence to become more active participants in their dream. And then in doing that, it's like, okay, well, it's a dream, but what can I do? How can I manipulate stuff? It's like, well, you know, with Will, he's into sort of role-playing games. So it's like, I'm going to be the wizard master from the game that I play. And it's like, I'm going to create that. You know, I'm going to have my weird cape thing, which...
kind of Doctor Strange-ish a little bit.
I was thinking more Dracula.
In the Wizard Master.
It's very Dracula cape.
Yeah, Dr. Orpheus.
Yeah.
But
Dr. Orpheus.
Dr. Orpheus. But I do
had
like
Taco Bell for lunch.
we're off the rails.
We have hit it hard.
There's a Venn diagram somewhere of people who are into Nightmare on Elm Street and people who are into Venture Brothers who are howling with laughter on that. And it's like 3 people.
Yeah, but
And 2 of them
you're
are on
welcome.
this podcast.
So if we got them in the dream world, let's just take a step out for a second, talk about the doctor who's now he's with Nancy. Nancy goes in and out of the dream world somewhat, but the doctor never really goes in beyond the one sequence where he tests to see if the group hypnosis will work. His fight is more on the outside, and he's talking to this ghost nun that we find out throughout the rest of the movie was Freddy's mom. And she wants her son to be laid to rest properly so that he'll stop.
Don't forget he got fired.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they both get fired from the institution after the group hypnosis sequence, right?
Right.
Yeah, by Nurse Ratchet.
Which Joey gets captured, and then they're sitting in the hospital, and we get that come and get him, bitch.
But it's also like they get fired, but then they go right back to work. So okay, fine. Yeah. That was this is a useful plot point.
It's the cop thing though. Like they can't solve the case until they've been kicked off the case.
Yeah.
So then they go get a cop who's now a mall security guard.
Yeah, and an alcoholic, and he's very guilty over one killing this guy, but also not. But also, yes, he's just carrying a lot of guilt. So they have to go They have to go find Freddy's bones in the trunk of Christine, apparently.
I noticed that. I was like, is that a reference to Christine? Because it feels like a reference.
It sure does. But then, so they're going to try to bury his bones, but his bones fight back. And I like the idea that Freddy can't be in the dream world and the real world at the same time.
Yeah.
Like for him to go like, wait, what are they doing to my bones? Hold on, I'll be right back. And then
he's got Kincaid up there for a kill shot, and he's like, I gotta go protect my bones.
Yeah, hold on, my bones.
What I love about that is well, it's setting a rule there, like but it's not like spelling it out. It's not like saying this is the rule. It's showing you visually, like this is one of the rules. Like Freddy cannot be in both the dream world and occupy his bones, and it's. We talked about bringing Freddy into the real world was not great in the second one. The way they do it in this one, though, works so good. Like,
it works really
him inhabiting his bones, like, and being able to inhabit that skeleton is so good. Like, it looks so good. Like, especially for, like, 1987, stop motion animation. Like, you have, like, a human interacting with a puppet.
Yeah,
like, fighting, and it looks really good. Like it still holds up.
I mean, you can tell that it was done in the 80s and not, 2016 or 2024 or like we get it. But at the same time, like this looks better than a lot of stuff I see today.
Yeah. I don't look at that and just start giggling at how silly it looks. Like I look at it and go, oh shit, a skeleton's fighting a man.
Yeah, I'm into it. Like I'm watching this happen now. Like it's not like, oh, okay, well,
there's Jason and the Argonauts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like that whole fight. I like that Nancy's dad dies. Like I think that worked.
He was
and what I like about it is like they don't make a huge deal out of it. It's just he gets thrown against the thing and he kind of dies, and there's no like, oh no, stay alive. Yeah. It's just like, no, he's dead. Oh crap! Now he's coming after me. I need to like, and it's kind of realistic in that way because if you're fighting a skeleton and it kills someone who you're fighting with, you're not going to spend like 2 minutes going, oh my god, how you're going to be like, oh, this skeleton's after me.
Why would
now,
you
just
do that?
Yeah.
But also, like, of course he's gonna die. He's an alcoholic. He's probably still rather drunk right now.
Yeah.
He's not at the top of his game to fight an interdimensional demon.
And also the doctor doesn't care for him either. Like they go through these whole sequences each time of them going in there where he's having to like take the keys to make sure he doesn't abandon them in the junkyard. And
I like the bit in the bar where it's like, okay,
Neil.
so we know each other. We need to be true to each other. Then he just like throws like
Neil
and, slams against the wall.
You can tell Neil, and it's just again, I don't know if it's a credit to the actor or the way it's written, but like he goes from like minuscule pipsqueak doctor trying to figure things out to actually showing his emotion to being fully vested, and then just being like, these are rough times. I'm gonna fuck you up if you're not gonna help me out.
Yeah.
So I thought that was great, but then for him just to my favorite, I'll say it for my lines. We'll just go ahead.
I mean, I do. I also like that the Freddy wins that fight technically. Yeah. Like,
oh yeah,
he throws the doctor in a grave and starts burying him alive.
Like, I'm burying you.
Like, Jesus.
I'm alive.
Just giggling as well as he's doing it as well.
Oh yeah, like.
Well, just the triumphant roar at the end was also very well done. Like, you didn't need to do that, but it works.
It did.
The bones falling back into the pile of bones as well looks so good as well. Like, it doesn't it doesn't feel like hokey or anything. It just feels like, oh, now the spirit or whatever is not longer inhabiting them. So the bones just all just go, just
peace. I got to go back to killing kids in dreams. But like the only, like, for me, the only complaints I have in this movie are not the audio complaints that Ryan had. It's really just the Wizard Master and Terran's deaths. Like, they're just they're not bad. They're not as exciting as the other ones, which is where, like, I can't complain about it because you can't have every kill be a.
I can never not see this for Taryn's death, but if you watch when Freddy stabs her arm full of drugs, like,
he's struggling to get one of the.
He has to turn his hands this way because he goes like this.
Yeah.
And he has to turn it to make it look more realistic. But
there's one, like, you can see one of the needles is bending as well.
Yep,
like,
yep.
Oh yeah.
So, but the death was actually supposed to be much more elaborate. Like, her head was supposed to explode, but the effect didn't work.
And I get that. And, like, in the emotional punch of Terran's death is brutal.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, remember me? Want to get high? Like, Jesus, like, that's you're a dick, Freddy.
of her own, track marks coming alive because they want to be dead.
And they do that sort of like,
Yep.
Like turning into mouths and like, oh yeah, give us the drugs,
Like, that's so, like, I get that, but I think the reason why I push back against it just a little bit is because Taryn just got a really badass moment. In fact, all the kids who come in to fight do. They take that, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna go down swinging. And, like, Taryn's moment of, like, let's do this, and, like, she pulls out her knives. Like, I like all of that. I kind of I don't know.
She
gets a good one on Freddy as well. She does,
yeah. And so does the wizard. Like, he uses his magic against him for a moment, and then he still gets.
No, okay, I'm gonna push back on that one because he uses his magic and he's running at Freddy. You're like, yeah, it's working. But for Freddy to go, I don't believe in fairy tales, kid. That was perfect. That was warranted.
Yeah.
My issue with the wizard kill is, like, because we talked about in the first one, like, how they did a really good job of hiding the wires.
Yeah,
you can see the wire. You can see the wire.
On the wheelchair.
No. On when he lifts up.
Oh no, you see it on the wheelchair too. Like, you see them pulling it when it's underneath the wheelchair. You see the pole.
Yeah.
There's
the wheelchair design is cool though. I will give
wheelchair
that.
design's cool, but that wire, like, you can see, like, it's so obvious because there's this big black, like, wire line, like, because it's backlit as well.
Yeah.
So, like, the wire is just so, like, in shadow as well, and you can see it kind of tugging as well, and that took me out of it a little bit because, like, as we talked about, like, in the first one with Tina's body, like, the way it gets lifted up and dragged in, like, I can't see any wires there at all, but then to have this one so blatantly obvious that it's like, oh, that's a shame.
I think for me the juice is worth the squeeze because I like that wheelchair design. I think all of that's pretty cool. But yeah, I agree. Like, it's like, oh, okay, so I can kind of laugh at this one instead of being horrified by this one. So be it.
But it is like, it's like what you were saying. They do go out pretty quick.
Yeah,
like when like Taryn goes after, like, she gets Freddy with one of her knives, but at the end of the day, they're still in the dream world, and, like, Freddy is king, and like the wizard guy flies towards Freddy, and Freddy just, like, grabs him, just like, nope.
Yeah, see ya. Which is all fine because what we're doing here is we're getting to the final showdown where they're gonna go find Joey. They're gonna save Joey, and they have to do their final fight. And the set they built for that final fight, incredible. Like, it looks just absolutely fantastic.
The mirror wall and everything.
Yeah.
Like, them getting pulled in through the mirrors as well.
That's
Again,
awesome.
So good. Like, the way that, like, it's not just them getting pulled through a hole. There's a very visual element that you can see. Like, there's something there they're passing through. It's almost like water. Almost.
Kind of, yeah.
And it just looks so good. Like, it's just so good.
And just like the as you said earlier, like, they're in the dream world, Freddy is king. They're in that mirror hallway, and he's like, if only there was more of me. And it's like, oh man, they really can't. He can do anything.
Again,
like, they're screwed.
Practical effects are how they pulled that sequence off is just beyond me. Like, they touch on it in Never Sleep Again, but it's still like, wow. And there was a lot of tension on set, and it's because they were trying to make this movie perfect, and they got damn near close. But because some of the imagery, the effects, they're just brilliant. But, like, and it's so seamless. Like, when they're pulling them through, you see the two different sides of them, the mirror side and then the real side. It's just it's so polished.
And it's legitimately kind of creepy. Like, even sitting here in 2024, it's like, this is kind of like they're in trouble. Like, you don't see how they can get out of it, all the way to the point where when Joey actually saves them, any savvy viewer is going like, this isn't over. Like, what do you mean this is? You shattered some mirrors. You didn't win. What are you talking about?
Right.
And like Nancy's so quick to be like, "We did it, guys." Oh, us.
This was a moment where I looked and went, "She ain't making it out of here."
Yeah. Oh no. And then you see
when
her-
then when a dad comes in that really
Mhm.
like again, like there's not a lot of the effects that look weird. This one does of him kind of just weirdly sort of like
Evaporating.
jangly. No,
Yeah.
coming like when he comes in, like as he gets slightly bigger, like just
But-
like that weird kind of movement in, like with the glowing things. Like, hey, I had to say goodbye though. It's like that's Freddy. That is Freddy.
yeah.
That's Freddy.
Yeah, like that. It sucks, you know. Like, oh, this would be a good moment to say goodbye, but instead it's to say, "Hey, you're coming too."
Yeah.
But I do like when I think about Freddy, as opposed to say like, as we keep comparing it, and I promise I wouldn't. Michael Myers and like Jason, I feel like Freddy is more poised to actually win than the other two guys, if that makes sense, because they are still somewhat grounded, even if they are some, you know, dimension hopping demons that can't die. They're still grounded by our rules.
Yeah.
And Freddy is not, because he's in
Yeah.
the dream world. So like,
Yep.
even though they beat him, it's still like, but he's still gonna win because it's still Freddy. Like, he can't really die. I know the other two can't
you
either.
can
so it's
run
not a-
away. You can run away from Jason and Michael. Like you could get in a car and drive for fucking hours and get
Yeah.
away from them. You can't get away from Freddy because the minute you go to sleep, there he is waiting. Like you can't escape that. Like, you know, as human beings, we need sleep.
Yep.
And that's where I really like that Nancy dies, because I think that makes more sense than her surviving. And actually, it makes the ending of the first one a little better to me. Like, it still doesn't save the ending of the first one. I'll still rank this one above the first one when we get to our eventual rankings. But it makes it work better because you don't win. Like, there's no winning against Freddy. So that he eventually got her, to me, makes more sense. And also, no matter how happy the ending is for the 3-4 that survive, he's gonna get you. Like,
And that was in Wes Craven's original. Like that was the one point in Wes Craven's story that Nancy does die. And so I thought that was great. That was a huge swing and it worked.
it works really well. Like everyone from the first movie at this point is dead. Freddy got him. Like, in one way or another, even got her dad. Like he gets his target. And that's where it's like, I like it because this movie has that bittersweet ending of like, we did it. Oh, but you can't do it. Like, there is no win. There's more of a pause button. And I think that's what I really like. And I even like that the ending just works better. Like the whole, like him doing like the whole spinning around thing as he's getting buried and getting doused with the holy water. It's corny, but it works. Like, I'm into it. It's like, oh yeah, this would stop him for a little while, but he's just got to figure out a way to get back, and then you're all screwed again.
Yeah, all it takes is someone to unbury the bones.
Yeah.
Which
And who?
Somebody or something.
Dun dun dun. I've never seen the fourth one, so I don't know.
I'm not gonna say it. That's why I
I'm
didn't say it.
guessing the director of the next one. Unburied.
The director of the next one is Rennie Harlan. So
Yeah, I've seen that. Die Hard 2,
Love it.
Cliffhanger.
four is near to my heart because it's one of the first VHS horror movies I owned.
Ooh. Well, we're almost at 4 because I think we've run out of gas on 3. Is there anything else that we have not mentioned people want to talk about? No, great.
No. The only thing that I thought was like the fact like we don't really know how long Freddy's been dead, but the fact that the car is still in this scrapyard, like they do stuff with those cars in scrapyards. They don't just pile them up and leave them there.
But in movies, they pile.
Not in Ohio, man.
Yeah, like this is a movie, dude.
Yeah, I know. Again, I'm trying to find problems with it just so we can have a discussion, but like this film is close to flawless. And it's very rare that we get to say that for any kind of slasher film.
Especially a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we said that about the first Halloween, and I think that's about it.
Yeah.
So like, way to go, Dream Warriors. I'm so disappointed in myself for not watching this until I'm 38. Like I
was
should've.
always very shocked that you had not seen all of it.
He saw 2.
I saw 2 and I kind of stopped watching it. That was it.
I thought you were a purist.
I never said I was a Freddy purist.
He's a Jason purist. That's why he likes 5 for some reason.
I like 5 because of the song. We've talked about this.
You finish it.
Yeah, I didn't finish Freddy, but I will now. We're doing a whole show on it. Quotes and kills. I went first last week. Matt can go first this week.
kill is the marionette. It just like we've talked about it ad nauseum at this point. It just looks so cool. It's one of the most creative kills that we've seen so far in this series, and I love how creative it is, and I want more of that. I really hope we get more stuff like that going forward. For the quote, I mean, I can't not. It's one of the most recognizable quotes of Freddy. It's, this is it, Jennifer. Your big break into TV. Welcome to prime time, bitch. That hurt my throat.
You know whose throat it didn't hurt? Robert Englund's, because they're still fucking with his
Oh my
body.
God, we get it, Ryan.
Let it go. Let it go.
I can't.
My kill is that TV scene. I know you mentioned corniest, but I liked something about him using her dreams, aspirations to be the instrument of her death.
Yeah.
You can't just that with a lot of them as well, though, because
Taryn and the drugs.
with Time of the drugs, but what the hell was his name? Philip, the Philip with the marionette.
Philip,
He makes the puppets.
Right.
He makes
Yeah.
those
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of
he made
marionette
puppets,
puppets, and Joey's dream was to bang the nurse lady, and he used that against her. So again, it's like that's why Freddy is so clever, and like like you said, like using like the way with the TV is just so sort of ingenious for Freddy to do that as well.
Yeah.
Like he literally puts it on TV.
My quote: "In the name of Lorik, Prince of Elves, demon be gone." Sorry, kid, I don't believe in fairy tales.
This is a perfect transition because that is my favorite kill. That is a running joke with me and my friends. It is just so hokey. It's just perfect. It's just good. It's just good, clean fun. We laugh every time just because when the kid wails, ah! When he's getting stabbed, it's just perfect. But when I was watching Never Sleep Again, like the blades were not retracting on the glove that they were using, so they had to outfit him with a 2x4, and the kid is up there being held by Robert's like, please hit your mark, please hit your mark. Ah! It was good. But my quote is one of Will, and again, this is what I was referring to earlier when I said it would be my line, but just the desperation that he has in the church when he goes to the priest and he goes, oh, I'm sorry, but I really need it. Here, take my driver's license, and just runs out the door.
Oh, that's a good one. So my kill, I'm gonna agree with Matt, is the marionette. The marionette is just so good. If Patricia Arquette had died from the worm thing eating her, that would have been my kill, because I love the worm thing, like especially like when he throws her up and she's just like from waist down just covered in green goo.
Do you know how they
like,
did that?
Yeah.
You know how
I'm
they
guessing
did
they covered her in green goo.
that? They did it reverse. So they had her in the mouth, and then they had her getting out, so it looks like he's eating her. So
Okay,
they filmed it in reverse.
that makes sense.
Or played it in reverse.
Yeah, I mean, it looks great. So I like that. That would be, but no, I got it with the marionette. The marionette's just so cool, and it's just so iconic, and everything about that sequence is just fantastic. My quote, I don't really want to read the whole thing because it's long, but I do like it. We didn't talk about the sequence at all. It's the sequence where Patricia, like when Freddy, they're like, all right, we're going in the dreams. Everyone stay together. They land in the dreams and they all separate.
Yep.
And Patricia Arquette goes back to her bedroom and she's reliving the beginning of the movie, where her mom's like, you need to go to bed. Why are you staying up? I was waiting for you, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, well, I got a date downstairs. And then you hear like hey, where's the bourbon? And she's like, I'll be right there. And then you hear Freddy's voice. I said, where's the fucking bourbon? and then he cuts her mom's head off, and then her mom comes around the corner, and that's where it's like, God damn it, Christian, you ruin everything. Every time I bring a man home, you spoil it. You know what your shrink says. You're just trying to get a little attention, and just the decapitated head berating her.
Well, even then, Fred goes, listen to your mother.
Yeah. Like that was some good Freddy, just being an asshole.
Yep.
Which I'm a fan of. And I went last. That was everybody, right?
Yep.
Awesome. All right. Next week, I guess we can do plugs. We want to do plugs? I don't really have anything to plug these days.
I don't have anything to plug.
Okay,
Nah,
great. I mean, I will say Demon Days. I know John's still kicking ass on Demon Days, and I still do intros for that every now and then. So be sure to listen to Demon Days. But next week we have Freddy. What's the exact title for next one?
Dream Master.
Dream Master. Another one I haven't seen. I'm excited to see it though. I gotta say, so if you like me have bought these movies digitally and you have them all, like I have them all on the Apple TV box set that came out. It was like $40 for Halloween. I got all of them. They all have these really shitty red covers. It's like just like a red splash page with just like a picture of Freddy. They all suck. When you go back to the original posters, they had the best posters out of any horror franchise. They were absolutely incredible. I'm just looking at the one for 3, and it's like him in the sky with the knives out, and the kids are all on each of a different knife. And then 4 looks incredible too. Like the posters make me excited for the movies, even if I know 4 is. I've heard it's good. Ryan, is it good?
I love 4.
Okay, great. I've heard 5 is not as good.
5 is shit and bricks.
Is that the baby one?
Yeah.
I've been told to be wary of the baby one and the one with Tom Arnold.
That is
are those
part
one
6.
and the same?
5 and 6 are horrendous, and we get to discuss them separately, so that's nice.
We get to spread that over 2 recording sessions. Fantastic.
Yes. You get 4.
I mean, I think I'd rather that. Like, you know,
I guess that's true.
what we
Yeah,
did.
it's not just one bad week.
Yeah. We talk about a good movie and then a bad movie, and then the next week we talk about a bad movie and a good movie. So it plays out.
We did that this week, so I guess that'll be our train with Freddy. One good, one bad. All right, that's it. I'm done. So bye.
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 Again, I imagine there's music playing. I don't know.
Bye-bye.